Welcome. This is Zangler, the Tesla Semi advocate, and I didn't intend on putting together a Tesla Semi Gone Wild video, but I must have seen 7 or 8 Tesla Semis, including this one with a very mysterious load, coming south or heading north on USA Parkway, turning on Electric Avenue. And I saw about 7 more moving Tesla semis on my way in or out, and decided to stop and video at the pilot production line at 550 Milan. And so that's what we have in today's video, is some updates. This Tesla Semi that has the black sort of fairing or lack of fairing on the top, I believe is the one that they have equipped with LiDAR for calibrating and gathering data for FSD for the Semi. Look back about 3 months for that video. There's a lot of little interesting things that we can glean from today's video. Look at those 2 short fairings. Those are the fiberglass fairings that go on the top, and I think they're held on by 12 bolts or something, 12 or 16 bolts. And so it's not a big deal to change a short fairing for a tall fairing. And in general, the short fairing makes sense for a flatbed load, and the tall fairing, as seen in the upper left, is when they're pulling a full-size trailer. So you guys can try to get a count of your own, and we'll see who gets closest, but there's at least 20, more like 30 Tesla semis parked in this video, and we'll get a couple of chances to see them. Again, this was after flying at the Giga Semi factory construction site. I decided to do a second flight, and this is what I got. And there's a lot of interesting stuff, a lot of yard trucks there on the left, as well as interspersed with Tesla semis. And a lot of, by the way, the Tesla Semi we just passed on the right, that's a production Tesla Semi, as indicated, as distinguished from the engineering semis that are doing testing. The production semis, this one I don't believe, I can't be sure, but I believe this one, leaving the Tesla Semi, or the Giga Nevada grounds, just drove through the main guard shack, and it's turning right here, which leads me to believe it is an engineering semi that just came back from the megacharger. However, it could also be a production semi, as the south end of this building contains Tesla production activity and warehousing, and that end, the north end of the 550 Milan building, is engineering pilot production line portion of the Semi. And I had to do a quick battery change because I had already just flown over at Giga Semi, and so it gives you about a 10-second warning, luckily, and then it automatically returns to home, which is pretty cool. So after a quick battery change, I get back at it. Okay, we're taking off for the second time, and this time, instead of heading south, I'm going to head north. In that Tesla Semi with the black top, two-tone Tesla Semi there on the right, is probably the LiDAR equipped one, or the one at least that is set up with the jigs for putting LiDAR on. And they probably take it off when they're not actively testing. So we're going to head north and then turn to the west, and on the way we can see this Tesla Semi bobtail that just parked, and I think that driver just got out of it and is possibly going to take his break. Interestingly, that door right there, the main door that Tesla semis come out, is door 69. Is that just a coincidence, or is that proof that we're living in the Matrix? We're going to come around the corner and we're going to see a Cybertruck. And that Cybertruck could belong to an employee, but I also believe that the Tesla engineering group has one or two Cybertrucks, one for endurance testing, which I know they were doing earlier in the year, and two to shuttle drivers who, if they deliver a semi, then they shuttle them back in a Cybertruck. Now, here's the west side of the building where we have seen multiple semis parked in the past. And there's a lot of interesting things going on here. And it'll probably take some time to see all of the little clues and make sense out of them. But there's a big one coming up that I found very interesting. So how many do we see here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 and 7 is 20. So there's 20 on that side, and then that one on the other side makes 21. Here's a master shot of the scene, and you'll also see another Tesla semi, one of the 7 or 8 that I saw. You can just see pulling out of the old Chewy building, the old Chewy distribution center, now owned by or leased by Tesla. And it's pretty small there, but there is a Tesla semi coming out of there with another different but interesting load. And it even says, I think, wide load on the trailer. You'll see it at the very end of this video. You'll see a street level view of that Tesla semi that just pulled out. It's parked at 550 Milan, and it's got a very unusual load, not the same load that we saw at the beginning of this video. As I pulled in, there it is right there. Now, something's going on. I have some ideas what they are, but really don't want to speculate based, not that it's ever stopped me before, but I just find those two loads to be very interesting. I don't know why they would use weird loads like that for testing and just for static loads. Those look like they're moving equipment in, possibly up to the semi factory, which we know the concrete is done, the high volume semi, Giga Semi, and so there's no reason to believe that they aren't moving things in there. Assembly line type of things, possibly battery assembly line things. Hopefully you'll get a look at how close this pilot production line at 550 Milan is from the new Giga Semi factory construction site. I think this drone is on this automated master shot routine, and I do think that we'll see the semi factory under construction. It's only 1,000 yards away. I would like to buy one of these Tesla semis. Anyway, that's wishful thinking. I always had the idea of setting up a tow service on I-80, which is one of the major distribution truck routes in the nation. And I think it would be awesome to see Tesla semis set up as wreckers, towing broken down semis all the way up to California and the Donner Pass, and the pass going over the summit all the way out to Lovelock. A Tesla semi could be used to fix them. This is a look in the other direction, and you can see all of the different activity fulfillment centers and lots of other activity. Here is that Tesla Semi that we saw pulling out. We know it wasn't there. Earlier, when I just drove by, when I just flew the drone by, that Tesla Semi and the bobtail in the background was there, and this wasn't. So we know that came out of the former Chewy building. And like I said, that does not look like a simulated load. Thank you for joining, and I hope you liked Tesla Semi's Gone Wild.